Okay, so my partner, our friends were that marijuana was extremely expensive. Since it was kept illegal, and alcohol is more harmful than weed. That it does not increase drug use in youth, and marijuana does not have significant health problems to people. For the claim that marijuana is more harmful to youth, the current ban on adult use does not shield kids from pot. On the contrary, it produces precisely the opposite effect. It is easier for a 14-year-old to score a nickel or dime bag if illegal pot than a six-pack of Bud or pint of Southern Comfort. Unlike government-regulated liquor stores, drug dealers do not card kids. So, since it is illegal, it is easier for the kids to get it because it is not legalized, and therefore it's not controlled by the government and the stores which will sell them. Okay, our
Opponents.
yeah. On there, that alcohol is actually the same as marijuana. Attacking that, there is Ross Bonender from The Benefits of Marijuana from Max Men said, there is no existing evidence of anyone dying of a marijuana overdose, but this does not preclude the possibility of experiencing adverse or unpleasant effects when it is consumed in large amounts. For comparison's sake, alcohol overdoses claim approximately 5,000 casualties per year. This is often cited as a reason that marijuana is safer than other drugs. So the point is that for marijuana, there is no proof that you can overdose from it, but with alcohol, you can overdose from it, going into alcohol poisoning and possibly die. There hasn't been any proof that you could do the same for marijuana. On the point that marijuana would be taxed and that it actually wouldn't increase, that there would, so marijuana would be taxed. Okay. Okay, so that marijuana would actually aid California's economy. In the case of California, the benefits and an additional stream of revenue far outweigh any potential society ills. Without the extra money, California will suffer serious economic troubles, and as the country's most populous state, California ills affect the whole nation. Going back to the health of marijuana, marijuana is actually an exit from harder drugs. From Ross Bonadier from Max Men again said, does marijuana use lead to hard drugs? Most long-term studies show that the people who report having tried disparate drugs like cocaine and heroin often share a history of having smoked marijuana. However, the implication that marijuana causes people to try harder drugs is yet unproven, and indeed it may act as an alternative to more dangerous drugs. So if marijuana were legalized, it would actually open up a better and safer way for people who do harder drugs, so they could get marijuana easier, and they will go away from using the more hard and dangerous drugs. Marijuana is actually more expensive. It's kept illegal, going back to my partner's claim. The $30 billion cost of securing thousands of, an example is the $30 billion cost of securing thousands of Soviet loose nukes, unsecured nuclear weapons that security experts fear might fall into terrorist hands. This is an example. It could be paid for in less than 3 years with the savings and revenues generated by marijuana regulation. So even though it is taxed, it will still be producing more revenue for California rather than staying the same. Marijuana is already highly accepted into the California society. Going back to my partners saying that youth already are exposed to marijuana. 85.8% of high school seniors told government survey takers that marijuana was easy to get, a figure that has remained virtually unchanged for 3 decades. So this shows that it hasn't been something that has occurred in the past couple of years or so. It's been like this for, like Bruce Merkin said, for the past 3 decades. So the fact that it's going to go away by keeping it illegal is not going to happen. Also on the claim that marijuana is already accepted into society, 59% of voters approved the M for marijuana Measure M, allowing the city to impose a 5% tax on gross dispensary receipts on top sales taxes they must pay for the state. This statistic was gathered from Peter Hetch from the Sacramento Bee. So it is already 59%, that's over obviously 50%, so over half of California already accepts marijuana and voted for Measure and wanted the government to tax marijuana. For the health benefits that my opponent said that is bad. Sorry. Okay, so the reason that it may not be safe is that since it is illegal, it is hard for the doctors to actually do experience and see which marijuanas would be more effective to each patient. Since it is illegal by the federal government, the doctors have to balance between giving the patient common marijuana that is just common on the street, or if it was legal, then the doctors would actually be able to research on it and find the exact marijuana that would actually benefit the patient more.